and welcome to another edition of News from the Block. My name is Mark Thompson. I'm the director of the Adopt the Block Outreach Center, and I am so delighted today to have some special guests. And when I say special guests, there's only a few names that you can share, Michael, that you know what I'm talking about. This is the first organization that when you hear, you know what I'm talking about. And today, the special guest in the PAC 14 studios is Captain Angel Simmons and Lieutenant Sean Simmons. Welcome to the PAC 14 studios.
Glad to be here.
I'm so excited for you two. Now, for our PAC 14 audience, these are the two new officers for the Salvation Army here in Salisbury. Let's start off with Captain Simmons. Tell us, how did you get here to Salisbury?
Yeah, so in the Salvation Army, you're sent places similar to the military. You move around. So we get commissioned as officers, which is ordained ministers in the Salvation Army, and then we get sent somewhere. So we started out in Suffolk, Virginia. That was where we started our ministry together. And then every 3 to 7 years, you get moved to a different Salvation Army. It's based on the needs of the community, your skills and abilities, and your passions. So you tell them, I really enjoy doing youth ministry, or I like, having thrift stores, things like that. And then from there, they place you at a different Salvation Army.
Okay. And for people that know my history with the Salvation Army at the Richard Hazel Youth Center, I was that close from joining. So what is it? What is a Salvationist? Or they're part of, tell us about this. What is a Salvationist?
Sure. So a Salvationist is a member of the Salvation Army Church. It means that you believe in the doctrines and principles that the Salvation Army follows, which is similar to the Methodist tradition in terms of our beliefs. And you wear a uniform if you are a soldier. We have red on because we're officers, which means we're the pastors. And then soldiers who are members of the congregation, they wear blue, which is also being a soldier. And it's because we're in a war against sin. There is different things going on in the world that we are fighting against, which is helping everyone and meeting human need in Jesus' name without discrimination.
Wow, it's amazing, and I love the Salvation Army and what their mission is. Lieutenant Sean, now I want to be honest. I was listening to Delmarva Life, and they said something about, how did you two meet? I love this story. Yeah. Tell us about how you two met.
We met online. Online. So I'm born and raised Columbus, Georgia. I left from there because I lost my job and everything, and my sister, she called me, she said, you want something new? So I moved to Virginia with her and her husband, or her spouse, fiance. But I moved up here to Quantico, Virginia. Once I got here, looking for a job, and then I went online and I did a search radius. I think I did like 5 miles, and her name popped up. And then as soon as she popped up, I was like, oh, she's cute, So I messaged her, and we started, messaging back and everything. And then after a while, we went on our first date. And once we went on our first date, she got to know me, I got to know her. Asked a lot of questions. I never had anybody ask me that many questions. I was just like mind blown. Like it was awesome. But after that, we went on a couple more dates. But then I asked her, and I was like, if you'll have me, I want to marry you. And she was like, we'll see. See how it goes. So I really liked that.
Wow, that's incredible. And I just want our audience to let you know that these two are couples in ministry. Now, were you part of the Salvation Army before you met?
No.
So let me go back. Again, it is a church, and it's a ministry. So when you joined the Salvation Army, how did you become officers?
So she was already, I'll let you tell it.
Oh, yeah. So I was an officer already when we met. I had been an officer for about 4 years before I met my husband, and I was in ministry by myself. I felt like I wanted to get married, so I started looking for a husband, and a part of that is in the Salvation Army, if you're married, your spouse has to be an officer. And so I didn't find anyone who I felt I wanted to marry who was an officer. So I was deciding that I was going to step down. So I stepped down from officership, but he didn't know that was happening in that process. So I stepped down. I was planning to step down. I'm at my sister's house. I was on my phone, and she said, "When are you going to find someone?" I was like, "I work 13 hours a day. I have no time to meet anyone." So she told me to go on this app. I just happened to be at her house, which was in the area where he lived, because I lived 3 hours away. Mm-hmm. So it was a God thing that we met in that way. So when you're called to ministry, I got my calling when I was 14 years old. I was a part of the Salvation Army. I went to a youth revival weekend. I accepted my calling at that time, and then while I was in high school, I would shadow my corps officers. I learned all of those things, and I after I went to college for a year, 2 years, then I went to the Salvation Army Training School, which is like a seminary school, to become an officer. So I started ministry very early at 21. So.
Wow. And this is a true mission and ministry that you two have together. So now all of a sudden, what branch did you come from, or where were you before you came to Salisbury?
Sure. So I'm from Alexandria, Virginia, and so I grew up going to that Salvation Army. My family lived right around the corner from the Salvation Army, and we didn't know it was a church. My grandparents are deacons in their church, and we always went with them. But my mom went to the Salvation Army for assistance with the utility bill, and they invited her to church. She said, "I didn't know this was a church. This is right here." So my sister and I started going to youth activities. We loved it. We started playing music and things like that, and so she started coming to see us perform and stuff, and then we became a part of the church, and the rest was history. So.
Wow, that's incredible. And speaking about the church, when we tell our audience it is a church, when are services at the Salvation Army?
11 a.m. on Sundays, every Sunday, and Bible studies at 10 a.m.
Wow.
Sunday school.
Well, Sunday school.
Sunday school. So you do have something for the youth also, and you do not have to be a part of the Salvation Army to attend.
No, sir.
Wow, that's incredible. Again, you're watching News from the Block. My name is Mark Thompson, the director of the Adopt the Block Outreach, and we're here with Captain Angel Simmons, I love that name, and Lieutenant Sean Simmons, the new officers here in Salisbury at the Salvation Army. So tell us, now you're in Salisbury, and you've been blessed with a beautiful corps.
Yeah.
We have youth centers. What kind of programs do you see yourselves now, as now you're the new officers, doing here in Salisbury?
So I'm just coming alongside of what's already taking place. It's like it's so much going on right now. So, and we're excited to just learn everything, and then just come in where we can get in, where we fit in. Get in where we fit in.
Get in where you fit in. I like that.
Yes, but it's really nice. We have basketball. We look at the field. We have a football field, baseball field, and this is just the sky's the limit with what we can do there, and how we can come alongside the community and just get everybody excited about being a part of something, some sport, or I love board games and chess, and there maybe somebody will get on board with me with chess, and then we can get that going. But there's plenty of programs that's already taking place, with the kids, with the youth, and we're just looking to come along and keep those going. But if the need presents itself, then we're going to try to meet it.
Okay, and that's really important here in Salisbury, because especially now, the talk is there's not enough activities for youth. Is there a cost to come into the Salvation Army?
So there is a cost, but it's not high. The cost is more so to cover the food and maybe an outfit or whatever uniform is needed for our youth. But the Salvation Army, of course, with our wonderful community, they donate to us, and those donations go to those programs.
Okay.
So it's like, thank you, community.
And we have some of the most caring people here in Salisbury. Hey, speaking about that, now we're getting close, and I love Christmas.
Yes.
We're getting close to one of the key parts of the Salvation Army. What's changed this year, or what can you tell us about with the Christmas this year?
So Christmas this year, again, is usually similar across the board any place you go. Like back in our previous appointment in Suffolk, Virginia, everybody loves Christmas. You know, like once the bell ringers, they see you in August, they start to, I'm gonna be there, and I'm like, well, come on, you would be glad to have you. So we looking to expect the same thing here in Salisbury. Like,
well, let me ask you about the bell ringing. And I'm gonna let you. When I was in Erie, Pennsylvania, they rang all year round. Is there a certain time period here in Salisbury that you're gonna be ringing?
Yeah, sure. So bell ringing season is usually a week or two before Thanksgiving until Christmas Eve here. And it used to be that they allowed you to ring more times throughout the year, but we have agreements with different stores, and now they've set parameters of the times that we can ring. So yeah. And then in terms of Christmas, we have our Angel Tree program, which is how we provide Christmas toys for kids who are 0 to 14. And we'll start registration for that pretty early this year. You can register starting August 21st. So the reason is we have an online platform. People can go to saangeltree.org. They would type in their zip code, and they can fill out for their family things that their kids would want, their clothing size, all that kind of stuff, because the goal is to help as many kids as possible. And the more people that register early, the more we can send out to be adopted so that kids can get toys and stuff like that. And then for the people who would still like to do it in person, we have a week in October. You can come in and fill out a paper application.
Okay, let's go back over that again because it's a lot.
Yes.
Let's start off with S.A.
Angel Tree.
Angel Tree. So now people need to go online and type in S.A. Angel Tree and fill out online application. And this is for the Christmas gifts for their children. Okay. And if they want to do it and they don't have internet, they can still go where now?
Yes, so they would come to our youth club on Oak Street, 415 Oak Street, and it's the second week of October that we are doing that registration in person. So on our website and in our office, we'll have the dates and times. So we have some morning times, we have some evening times for people who are working that they can come and register their kids for Christmas.
And again, for our viewing audience, we'll have all this posted for you. We'll have all their information, S.A. Angel Tree, so you can start now. Now, the second part of this is, if you're a company, a business, and you want to get involved, what should they do?
oh my.
So starting mid-September, we'll have lists available where people can say, I want to adopt 100 kids, and they would be able to either do that online or by calling me at the office, and I would give them a list of the first name of a child and the things that they would like for Christmas so that different companies and businesses can adopt children.
Okay, do they do the same S.A. Angel Tree?
Yep, they can go to that website and say that they want to adopt, and then from there register.
So again, start now if you're interested in this. Mm-hmm. The second phase is my favorite, the bell ringing. Mm-hmm. How do people get involved in the bell ringing? I was part of the Rotary Club. That's how I rang bells. How would someone, if they're not part of an organization, get involved in being a bell ringer?
So they could call at the Salvation Army, speak with me, and
or Rose Taylor,
and we'll get going from there. And we're always looking for volunteers. You know, I mention that every time I get the opportunity. So, but yes, we're looking for volunteers. But also, there are some paid spots. You know, to be a paid bell ringer. So,
oh, really?
Yes, sir. So, and that's an opportunity for anyone who would like to go out there and just ring the bell and receive a paycheck. So,
wow.
Yeah.
So you mentioned a name that I'm not familiar with,
Mm-hmm.
Rose.
It's Rose Taylor.
So what type of position does she have?
She's our
community and donor relations person. So she helps with volunteers. She helps with community events and putting those on. Like we're gonna have a golf tournament August 18th. So she's a part of helping make sure that happens. And she also helps with kettle volunteers, Angel Tree volunteers. We have a back to school program. She'll help with those type of things. So getting volunteers involved, getting donors involved, and things like that. So we're blessed to have her.
Yeah. Speaking about that, I remember attending a breakfast. Mm-hmm. You still having that now?
Yes, on November the 8th, we have our Christmas breakfast, and that is to recognize those from the past year who helped with Angel Tree and with Kettles. We'll give out awards to people who did a great job at ringing, or the highest bell ringers and things like that, and also recognize those top donors who gave throughout the year.
Okay. So there's a lot going on right now. You're not just sitting around. It's incredible. Let's go over, I want to go over some of the programs. The thrift store, it looks remarkable. It looks like there's been some remodel going on over there. What's happening at the thrift store?
So we have an awesome manager there, Mr. Greg Shipman. If you get the opportunity to go through and talk to him, but yes, him and his team, they're working very hard to make it where it's just presentable to the community. Where the community comes in and it's like, oh, it's welcoming. It's like, I want to be here. And also, we get very nice items in there, so the community just love to go and shop in there, and very nice store.
And you're still accepting donations and things like that.
We are.
Is there a time when you don't want to donate, or is there hours of donation that they should have?
So we're trying to get it to where everyone, the individuals in the community, are donating between the business hours. They're able to come in when those doors are open and drop off those items Monday through Saturday, and drop all those items inside, like right at the back door. But yes, so we're asking that we not get donations after hours, because it makes the parking lot fill up really fast.
Yeah, you heard it from Lieutenant Sean here, and I really have to speak on that one, because I remember my time at Salvation Army and our community. Please don't drop it off after hours. They're not a place just to dump stuff. But let me ask you this: so you have the thrift store, and you also have two youth centers. So you have one on the west side, which is the Richard Hazel Youth Center. What's going on between the two youth clubs? Are you still having after-school programs?
Yes, so it's we have another amazing director, Willie Downing, there, and we just rebranded. We're now a Salvation Army Boys and Girls Club. So Salvation Army is a great program for youth clubs, but then Boys and Girls Club also has one. So put them together, it's a Salvation Army Boys and Girls Club. And so the only difference is we add the aspect of worship. So Boys and Girls Club programming will be done there, but we also will have worship programs, like we're having Vacation Bible School, not next week, but the week after, in our Boys and Girls Club. The staff is being trained in different aspects of youth mentoring and things like that. So those are great things to add to what already has been happening there for over 20 years.
Yeah, so. Wow. I think I've been there all that time.
Yeah.
And that is something different, because I know we have a Boys and Girls Club in town. So this is different. And the difference is what now again? Worship.
So the Boys and Girls Club has pillars for education and doing STEM activities and all the other youth activities that they have. But the only difference with the Salvation Army one is that we bring in the gospel. We're teaching others about God and about how that can transform your life. So both great programs. It's just a different aspect, which is adding that spiritual care.
Okay. I understand they're going to be changing floors or paint colors coming?
Yeah, so they already painted the gym on here in Oak Street, and we're working on the floors. We're praying and hoping that it'll be September, so we can get that knocked out and just get the community back in here and get it rolling.
Worked on the pool. The pool is up and running, and now we have hours in the afternoon each day from 4 to 6 that it's open to the public. So in addition to helping out the kids who are in our club, we also do it in the evening. I know some people were asking, well, why aren't you open on the weekend? But we run a club 5 days a week, and some of our staff is there 13 hours, and so we're trying to just support the community in the evening and give a few hours where it's open to the public.
Well, I was going to ask about that, because it's been so hot lately, and I couldn't remember going swimming in there, so now it is open. Is there a charge to come in to swim?
Yes, it's $5 a person.
Okay. And again, all the funds go right back into the Salvation Army. And again, you're watching News from the Block. I'm Mark Thompson, director of the Adopt the Block Outreach Center, and today special guests are Captain Angel Simmons and Lieutenant Sean. speaking about that, I've been saying captain and lieutenant. People may be confused, or you guys are part of an army?
Yeah, so we are part of God's Army. The rank is just years of service, so again, she's 10 years of service, and myself right now 3 years of service.
Okay.
Yes, it's just years of service.
Yeah, I think when I was Major Biggers was here when I was here. So it's based on years of service, how you move up through the ranks, and it is Army. When you look at what's happening in our community with the violence and all the things that are happening that's negative, what type of positive message do you have for our community?
I would say, surround yourself with people who are going to encourage you. Always continue to, speak up when you see something. We want to, bring a halt to these things.
So again, being approachable. Sometimes people think, well, I can't get involved because I don't know I don't know what the Salvation Army is. But you're open to anyone, right?
Yes.
What about the homeless? Are you working with the homeless population?
So we are putting together, where I heard in the past, where here in Salisbury, we was doing showers and everything with some of the local churches we get together. So we're trying to get that back up and running. We're moving some things around and trying to just, again, get in where we fit in, so we can get people in here, get them taken care of. William Booth here, original founder of Salvation Army, 1865. Soup, soap, and salvation. Nobody's gonna listen to you if they got life going on. You know what I mean? So we're gonna get them in here, get them cleaned up, get some food in their belly, and then we're gonna, present the gospel to them and go from there.
Well, speaking about that, and I met your social service director. I can't remember her name now.
Miss Kenya.
Miss Kenya. Can people come there anytime?
So it's Monday through Thursday, and it is 9:30, and then we're closed for lunch, and then we're back at 1 p.m. until 4:30.
Wow. So you're able to come and get food?
You come to get food, resources, and we're just going to make ourselves available.
Okay. And speaking about resources, people always come and ask me, how can I get help with utilities or rental assistance? Does the Salvation Army do that?
Yes, we do assist with those utilities and rental assistance. We're continuing to seek donations so that we can continue to serve. Right now, we're as we receive phone calls, we're just giving out resources in the community, and we're looking for more resources. So if there are any resources out there, we invite them to just give us a call, let them know they're out there, so that we can continue to serve the community together. Yes.
So again, you're always looking for donations coming in. So through your social service department, and getting food. So if people just wanted a bag of food, they can come any day of the week.
Well, we're actually starting up you want to talk about that?
Yeah, so we are currently doing appointments because our social service workers become overwhelmed. But if someone were to come in, they either can get the information about it or get the food at that moment. We also are going to do monthly mobile pantries. That's going to be where they can come at that time, and it's you're not having to schedule an appointment. You're showing up, you're getting food and resources in that way. So yeah.
Wow, that's going to be incredible, because I run a food pantry, and it's constantly people are coming asking us for food. Let me ask you, so with the Salvation Army and your roles now here, what would you want to tell our community to get engaged, to get involved? What would you want to say to them?
Yeah, I would say that if you want to help out your community, give us a call. We're also open to ideas.
Yes.
We have facilities where we have 2 gyms on one side of town, then we have another gym on the other side, pool, basketball court, fields, all of those things. And sometimes we just need people to say, hey, I want to put on this event. We have the know-how and the resources to do those things, but maybe you have the connections to get the food or to get the different resources. So we collaborate in that way with people. We also have many opportunities to volunteer. We need people helping with our youth programs, with mentoring, with helping in our food pantry, stocking shelves, cleaning, all those kind of things that we take volunteers for. And it's not necessary that you be a part of the church or a church at all. Our goal is to meet human need without discrimination. So it doesn't matter who you are, where you come from. If you are passionate about helping others, then there's a way that you can join in.
Okay. And you mentioned about paid volunteers for bell ringing.
Yeah.
Is there a certain limit that you could do? I know there's someone in town. This young person rings every time. So is there a limit, or it doesn't matter?
Well, it doesn't matter. We're accepting the applications. You know, we have to go through. We'll do interviews just like any other job, and then we'll go through. But yes, like there's no limit.
So if you don't want to be paid, you can still volunteer.
You can still volunteer.
And you go through your volunteer coordinator.
Yes, Ms.
And we'll have that information. Again, you're watching News from the Block. I'm here with Captain Angel Simmons and Lieutenant Sean Simmons of the Salvation Army, the newest officers here in Salisbury. And we're just so delighted to have them. And they have 3 young girls, and they're going to be attending. You said East Salisbury. Okay. So what's the ages of your daughters?
The twins are 9.
Twins?
Yeah.
Oh.
Glenda and Gabrielle, and Grace, she's the youngest, 8 years old.
Well, I gotta say, it's no offense. What do they call you? Men dad or girl dads?
Yeah, girl.
What is it like to be a girl dad and then in the Salvation Army?
I mean, like any other girl dad. Like they come to me when they want to just be around and everything. We get along together. I'm in the house with 4 girls, 4 women, so yeah. But
God bless you.
Yes, definitely. But yes, it's awesome. Like a lot of people, when we first got married, they say, when we first had the girls, they say, you got your hands full, and it's like, well, God got it. He got me. He ain't gonna give it too much. But I love it. Like I wouldn't trade it for the world.
Well, that's good. We're happy to have you in our community. One more time, if and we need to start. People need to start now. If they want to sign up for the Angel Tree, what was that address again?
It's saangeltree.org. So it's SA and then another A when you do the angeltree.org. And then they can call our office if they're wanting to volunteer or sign up for bell ringing. And that is 410-749-7771.
Okay. And in closing, anything last parting information you want to give?
Nothing else.
You're good.
We're excited to be here. Since being here, I met a lot of people, you know what I mean, and just building some great relationships.
Yeah. I feel kindred spirits because my family was from Georgia, and you're Columbus, Georgia, and I lived in Alexandria, Virginia, so we're just looking for the good things and some great things. We're asking God's blessings upon you. Again, you're watching News from the Block. My name is Mark Thompson, Director of the Adopt the Block Outreach Center, which will soon be open. We're looking probably at the end of August, beginning of September, and we're looking for a good partnership with the Salvation Army also. But again, we'll have all this information for you. If you want to help with the Salvation Army, we'll have the information at the bottom of the screen. But please, let's work together as a community to do the most good. Again, this is Mark Thompson saying we love you, and we'll see you next time.